This is Super Yacht News with E. Sisman.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. So a boathouse on Lake Wörthersee in Austria burned to the ground after an electric boat was left inside and caught fire. A number of people called the emergency services after they saw the boathouse ablaze around 1900 hours or 7 p.m. on the 11th of July on the lake near Meiningen. Eyewitnesses said that they saw a white cloud of smoke suddenly rise into the sky on the southern shore of the lake. Eventually the cloud turned black and the column of smoke was 40 to 50 meters high. Firefighters spent a number of hours putting out the fire, and they said that the fire was eventually extinguished around 22:40 hours or 10:40 p.m. 3 boats were damaged in total, and the fire was prevented from spreading to other boathouses. Some residents were able to rescue boats lying in or next to the burning boathouse and moor them on 2 nearby buoys, or buoys as they say in the US. However, according to the authorities investigating the scene, at least 3 small vessels are believed to have been destroyed. Now, the boathouse was completely destroyed also, according to the volunteer fire department, who set up the oil barrier to limit any possible leakage of chemicals or oil. They also brought in a state chemist who was brought in to examine the site to determine whether or not there were any hazardous chemicals, and they said that it was all clear. Now, currently, we don't have any information on the type of boat that caused the fire, or caught fire, should I say, only that it was electric. And the cause of the fire is also currently unknown. And what I mean by the cause of the fire is that we don't know why the boat caught fire in the first place. I know there'll be plenty of theories about that in the comments section. Anyway, we'll bring you more as and when we know. And we'll move on to our next story. The US Coast Guard has rescued a super yacht and crew 200 nautical miles west of the Republic of Palau. On the 15:37 hours on July the 20th, the JRSC of Guam, which is the Joint Rescue Subcenter, received an Inmarsat-C distress alert relayed from the team at JRCC Australia, which is the Joint Rescue Coordination Center. The initial information in the distress lacked the actual location of the yacht. Always remember to put the location in, crew, when you're sending out a distress. But the US Coast Guard used the AIS position and diverted one of their cutters, the Oliver Henry, to the location. The yacht had initially reported they had a locked rudder and they had flooding in the bilge, but they said that they didn't require assistance, and they said that repairs were underway. Now, the US Coast Guard vessel was on a routine patrol when they received the distress signal. Although the vessel's location is not known, the Coast Guard vessel's location wasn't known at the time. We don't know how far it had to travel, but they must have been a considerable distance, as they requested the assistance of a US flagged cargo vessel, which was 135 nautical miles away from the yacht, and they asked them to assist until they could make their own arrival. When the cargo vessel arrived on the scene at just after midnight 30 hours on the 21st of July, they communicated to the Coast Guard that the yacht crew had a steering issue but was not requesting assistance and attempting to repair the issue themselves, and everybody on board was in good health and the vessel had power. However, by 0600 hours on the 21st of July, the US Coast Guard arrived on scene and noted the vessel still had the steering issue, which was the rudder was locked at 11 degrees, and the vessel was now taking on water. The Coast Guard placed a rescue and assistance team on board to help with, as they described, dewatering and to assess damage control needs. And the Coast Guard vessel eventually attached lines to the yacht and began towing the yacht to Palau. The towing took approximately 33 hours to get them to safety. Now, the motor yacht, Black Pearl 1 it's called, as a 46 metre or 154 foot Belize flagged yacht designed for dive excursions. The yacht was reportedly en route to Cebu in the Philippines for maintenance. Now, we believe the yacht is Chinese-based. The management company is a Chinese management company, and the yacht is actually registered as a passenger vessel, most likely due to the amount of guests that sleep on board being over 36. You can have a large yacht code up to 36 guests, and after 36, it has to become a passenger vessel. Now, speaking of the AIS, the US Coast Guard were able to find the yacht. The yacht forgot to put their coordinates in the distress signal, but the they used AIS to find the vessel. This is a great example of one of the uses of AIS. You know, you have all these yachts turning off their AIS when they feel like it, so they can hide their location. This is a great example of why it's good to have that broadcasting. Now, the yacht sent out a distress using Inmarsat-C, which is kind of a basic distress tool. It's a text-based distress tool, but it does have global reach. But like I said, they neglected to put in the coordinates in that distress message, which is easily done when you're panicking, you know. So communication is slower using Inmarsat-C, as it would be compared to, say, a satellite phone or MFHF radio, you know, where you can talk directly. However, the Coast Guard were able to use them using that AIS, you know, going onto the AIS system. If that had not been functioning, it could have been very different, couldn't it? Now, the yacht is now moored in Palau, according to the AIS. I think it hasn't broadcast for about 5 days, so it's been there for a while. All right, guys, remember to check out our latest yacht tour video. It's a full tour of the 56-meter My Legacy, $50 million super yacht for sale. We also have a technical tour coming soon. That will be released on our Patreon page in a couple of days' time. You can join Patreon at patreon.com/eSysman. And also remember to check out our latest podcast, where I talk about getting access to marinas and the shocking cost of road trips to Europe. You probably watch a lot of YouTubers making these road trips to Europe, and you can find out how much it costs. You can find the at Yacht Report podcast on YouTube and also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and stuff like that. If you've got any information for us about any of the stories here, especially the fire in Austria, please be sure to get in touch. You can do it in the normal fashion. You can get us in the address, in the ticket. You can get us on the About page of the YouTube channel. You can get us on Instagram, on Facebook Messenger, on Twitter, and on Threema. Be sure to like the video and share it with people you think might be interested. And if you're so inclined, subscribe and hit the bell for future notifications. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.